Fintracker currently includes three disclosure forms: the Disclosure of Representation in Trading Services, or DORT, the Disclosure of Risks to Unrepresented Parties, or DRUP, and the Disclosure for Residential Tenancies, or DRET. To create a new disclosure form, go to My Records, press the plus button, select New DORT, DRUP, or DRET. This will create a blank form of the specified type. The disclosure form consists of two major sections. The first section includes a summary of the form, followed by the agent disclosure details. The agent disclosure details section includes information about the agent, namely the agent's name, brokerage, and optional team name and team member names. Team name and team member names that you enter will be saved for future records. The DORT form includes an option to specify whether or not the consumer is a client, whereas the DRUP and DRET forms contain a property address field, which can be filled by attaching the record to an existing record or entering an address. All of the forms require an agent's signature and date of signing. If you've entered your signature in the past, it will automatically be entered for you. If you'd like to change your signature, you can do so by tapping the signature pad and entering your new signature. Your new signature will be saved for future use. Once you've completed the agent disclosure details section, tap Create Disclosure Form to prepare a disclosure to be sent to consumers. The Create Disclosure button will say either Create DORT, DRUP, or DRET, depending on the disclosure. Note, the Agent Disclosure Details section will become locked after creating the disclosure. This is to ensure that if there are two consumers, both consumers receive the same version of the disclosure. The second section includes the consumer acknowledgement. For the consumer acknowledgement section to be complete, all of the listed consumers must have viewed the disclosure. Once they've done so, the box labeled Viewed within the Disclosure Results section will automatically be checked off. This box cannot be checked off by the agent. A consumer name can be optionally entered, and then the disclosure can be made either in person or by email. To send the disclosure by email, enter the consumer's email and select Send Disclosure. The disclosure will be sent to the consumer, where they will be provided a link to view the disclosure online. If you need to resend the disclosure, you can optionally change the email and select Resend Disclosure. If the consumer is physically present, you can provide the disclosure in person by pressing Disclose in Person, then handing the device to the consumer. Here the consumer will be presented the disclosure, which they can view by tapping View Disclosure. This will provide the generated disclosure PDF that includes the agent disclosure details provided in the first section of the form. Once the consumer has read the disclosure, they can return to the page to optionally initial the disclosure and receive a copy of the disclosure if they would like. By pressing Confirm, they acknowledge that they have viewed the disclosure and will be returned to the page. You will receive an email notifying you of which consumer has completed the form and if the record is now ready for submission. If there are two consumers, another consumer can be added by selecting Add Second Consumer. The process can now be repeated with the second consumer. Notes can be added to the form anytime before submission. Once all acknowledgements are complete, the form can be submitted by selecting Save, then Submit, then entering the emails of any recipients you'd like the record to be sent to, then hitting Submit. A PDF will be available for download if desired. Otherwise, a PDF of the form can be downloaded from the completed record at any time. The record will now be visible within the Complete section of My Records.